Okay, well, welcome everyone. My name is Tracy Miller, and I'm the founder of the Women's Wellness Exchange. And I just love gathering with you guys. I really do. And we're going to have lots of dialogue and interaction tonight. And, we're all in this together. We're all figuring this out along the way. I love what, um, oh gosh, now I'm forgetting her name. Christine Kane said that our business is our opportunity for our soul's expansion, right? Because you can't do this without growing. You can't do this without pushing the boundaries. You can't do this with addressing your fears. You can't do this without, reaching out and evolving and changing because if we stop growing in our business stops growing, period. So really important that we do that. And also just know that, there's no prescription here. There's no like, if I just do this exactly because they did it that way, I'll have it all figured out, right? It is a constant evolution. It's a constant process. And we can learn from each other. So maybe we'll have some good ideas here tonight. So I'm excited to do this tonight with Tatiana. Tatiana is a mind and body coach, and you have a membership community as well. You're a certified mind body coach, author of transformational programs on involving consciousness. You're an energy practitioner and an entrepreneur. And I love what you say here about your passion about helping people make their vision a reality, right? Isn't that what we're trying to do for our clients too?
That's right.
Really important. So Tatiana, why don't you just say a little something and just tell everybody about yourself and then we'll go ahead and get started.
Sure. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you. Can you hear me well?
Mhm.
Yes, you can. Wonderful. How's everyone feeling tonight?
Awesome.
Excellent. Wonderful. Well, I want to say that I'm very honored and grateful to be with you beautiful ladies tonight and share my personal experience with creating visions and embodying those visions and really making your vision a reality with ease, grace, and flow. So I can't wait to share all the knowledge, all the wisdom with you later in this workshop. But in terms of my introduction, Tracy, thank you. You did an amazing job. I can repeat that, but it's pretty much it. I'm a certified mind and body coach, energy practitioner, entrepreneur, and an author of transformational programs on evolving consciousness. Thank you.
Thanks, Tatiana. And I love when we bring people together, and a lot of the speakers, if you've been to the workshops, there are wellnesspreneurs, but they also bring something else to the table. We had a woman who is a health coach, but also does marketing for Kripalu and things like that. So I feel like I like bringing women to our workshops who get us because we're passionate about wellness, because we are, entrepreneurs who don't always love marketing. We really love the healing. We don't always love the marketing. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So Tatiana, thanks for that. So tonight we want to help you do a couple things. We want to really help you get clear on how you communicate who you are and what you offer. And that's really the heart of all of this, right? We're, you know, evolving and growing. And I feel like every 3 or 4 months, I'm updating my marketing copy. I'm updating because I feel like I'm evolving and growing. So, and really helping people understand the transformation that we offer, right? Because that's what we're selling. Um, as Tatiana said, we want to help you make your vision, create a vision, right? Have you done that? Have you really sat down and got clarity on your vision for your business and how to make that a reality? To get over your fears around marketing and sales. How many people don't love marketing? Yeah. I know, but it's you can't be an entrepreneur, you can't be in business for yourself if you don't do marketing. And finally, just to build that bridge between you and your customers. And that's what we're doing really through all of this. So tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit. Tatiana's going to talk a little bit, and then we're going to get into some deep work. We're going to get into figuring out how we want to, one, dig deep and communicate who we are and what we offer. And then we're going to create that vision, right? That vision for what we want our business to be. Because I even love what Tatiana was saying. Like she really was very emotive in how she wanted to make women feel, right? That's what we're trying to do in our businesses, is help women figure out how they feel now, how they could feel, and how they could feel after that. So it really is this kind of transformation. So, and then we're gonna give everyone an opportunity, and maybe we'll even do some breakout groups. I want you guys to be able to verbalize and voice some things tonight. I have found in many workshops, people write things down or they think about them, and then all of a sudden when they have to say them, it just like they get crystal clear. And then I'm always like, write that down right now. That's it. You got it. You're there, versus, editing and, things like that. So we'll have an opportunity to talk tonight. And this is all being recorded, so you can always go back and check that out. All right. So to get started, really, as I mentioned, the intention is to help you guys get clear about who you are and what you offer. And I think one of our frustrations, when we're not getting the response that we want with our marketing, is that we just feel like they don't get us, right? They don't, that they don't know what we're talking about. And it's our job to help them figure out what we're talking about. So, this is what I was talking about, marketing from the outside in. We need to figure out first, what we offer, what our value is, what our unique, as you might say, selling proposition is. We need to make it as easy for them as possible. I was saying last night, people are overwhelmed and underwhelmed at the same time, right? They're just, sometimes they're skimming through life, right? And we've all heard that radio silence before, where we work really hard on something and then we put it out there and it's just like, right? So we've all been there, and I want this to be an open and frank discussion, because it's not always easy, right? But I think that the clearer we get and about our value and what we're helping people do, the easier that it is to. And I think also repetition is king, right? We need to we can't assume that people are understanding. We need to kind of hit home many times over and over and over again. I wanted to talk a little bit about marketing, because this is something, I have a background in kind of communications and marketing, and I learned how to write really good marketing copy for my 2 corporations. And I even found, when I started writing a lot of marketing copy for my own business, that it was getting kind of cliche. This was years and years ago, and but it does take that deep work to keep coming out and coming up with new, clear, text and copy. But I think it's really important that we realize that marketing we have to market our businesses. We can't just hope and dream that people are going to show up. And unfortunately, how many people, like, when they think of sales, they think of, the sleazy, car salesman or something like that. So I think we have to really, first of all, kind of let that all go. Marketing is really just communication. Marketing is explanation, right? Marketing is helping people understand. Marketing is reasoning. Why is this important? Why should you even be taking time to read this post or read this article, right? So we really need to think about marketing as a much deeper, broader way of communicating with people, right? In this sea of information where people are overwhelmed. It's important too that we know who we're trying to reach, and we're going to talk about that tonight, because when we try and reach everyone, we reach no one. And this is something I have had to just hone in. And I remember I was running a wellness program, and 99.9% of the people that came were women. But my partner and I were afraid to put this program is for women on the website, because we didn't want to alienate anyone. Right? So it's not that we're not alienating, it's just that we're not resonating, right? We want to find the people that we resonate with. I think another way to think about marketing is that it's the ultimate service. I mean, what you are trying to do, and if you're good at it, is that you're trying to bring value to someone's life, right? You're trying to help someone be healthier and happier, right? So we can't make assumptions that people understand what we do just because they're not paying attention to it. So if you're not getting the traction that you want, it's not necessarily because people don't want what you've got to offer. It's just they don't understand what it is. And I think that just takes a lot of the pressure off and a lot of that personal, like, oh, they're not buying my stuff, so they don't like me. That's not it at all. It's just you have to, get better at explaining to them what you do and where you want to take them. Um, I love this quote here. Selling is getting someone intellectually engaged in a future result that is good for them and getting them to emotionally commit to take action to achieve that result. And I think that's another thing that we have to realize with marketing. Our goal is really to get someone to make a decision, right? This is for me, this isn't for me. And there's a lot of that's kind of a black and white, but really we're trying to get them to make a decision. And when we bring them on a journey and build them in our community, we can really get them to make a lot of decisions. It might be just a simple tip sheet. It might be, what's your, get them to engage in something. So we're just trying to get them to take little baby steps to get to know us, to have little action steps that show that this is something that is resonating with them. So, there's something, the whole customer journey is many small actions before the big action of the sale, right? I was going to look at, I have defined marketing as communicating with our target audience in the manner that they want, at the time that they prefer, with the information that they want. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, so we got to take away that they're not buying from me and really come back to who am I trying to attract, what am I trying to offer, and get really clear on that. The other thing that it's not something that I have talked a lot about, but it's been really resonating with me is when we talk about our brand. And again, I think as wellnesspreneurs, we don't think of ourselves so much as a brand. We're not Pepsi, we're not McDonald's, we don't have a brand. But I heard this definition earlier, and I think Tatiana is going to talk about this as well, is that our brand is nothing more than our reputation. It's how people remember us, right? So they might remember us by colors, by visuals, by, the messages that we're giving them, right? Maybe we're just really positive and they always remember those like positive messages. Maybe we're really intellectual. Maybe we're inquiring. Maybe we're kind of like fear-based, what are the messages? What are the feelings that we're kind of emoting? And that's what they're going to remember. So just think about your brand as your reputation. And I mean, we could probably do a whole session on brand and so forth. But I want us to realize that we are creating an image without feeling like it needs to be sleazy again, that it needs to be so, the other thing that I think is so amazing that Coke sells sugar water, and they have created a brand that people think of, oh my gosh, I'll be more popular, I'll be happier if I drink Coca-Cola. Because they don't talk about the drink. All they do is show people feeling great and feeling good. And I'm like, if they can do that, ladies, we can sell our stuff and create a brand around, making people want to make decisions that are better for their body. All right, so a couple things is that, and we're going to kind of dive into this later tonight, but the most important things that we really need to do, we need to, as I mentioned several times, people must know what the results are, what the value is that we offer. We need to know who we're serving, right? And what I think is also interesting, how many of you got into this business because you had kind of let's say a health transformation, aha moment where you went from feeling one way to feeling another way, and that's why you kind of got into this? Raise your hand if that's for you. A little bit? Okay, so maybe half of you. We did a survey of around 50 or 60 women, and about 99% of them said that they had their own health transformation. That's really why they came into this, right? So I think that's a really important thing to remember, that we are a former version of ourselves is our target audience, right? So for some of us, that's who we're trying to attract, and that's who we know. We know that former version of ourselves really, really well. And that may be our target audience. People can't make a decision if they're not sure what you're offering, right? Really important to know if we're vague. And I think what happens is that we tend to be less clear, more vague when we're not really sure, and or we're afraid to, be too confident. Like it's funny because I used to run this Dig In Well Real Food Solutions, and we never used the word diet. And my husband kept saying, if you just use the word as a diet, like this is a diet program, you'd be a multimillionaire. And I'm like, no, this is not what we're selling. We're selling something much deeper, right? And I was also, it just wasn't, I didn't want to go out there and say, you'll lose, 50 pounds with our program. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's the solution that you're offering. But I think as women and as entrepreneurs, or whatever, we're kind of afraid. So we're kind of vague. And vague is going to get no one to a decision point, right? And we want people to have a decision point because, even our mailing list, we want people on our mailing list that want to be on our mailing list. Like if someone realizes that you're not for them, you want them off your mailing list. You want, clear, clear customers, committed customers, people that you know are ultimately going to buy from you. So good marketing really just creates clarity. And you are the vehicle to help them get where they're going, right? So we've got to believe in our own value first. We've got to get clear on our own value first. We've got to not be afraid of communicating that value that we offer, that transformation that we offer. And, I love a lot of times people say that we're people's guides, right? We're the guides that help them take them where they want to go. Sometimes they don't even know where they want to go yet. They might be so deep into where they are that they don't know where they want to go. They might not even be self-aware enough to know where they are. So sometimes your job is to help. Do you ever have like someone says something and you're like, oh my God, that's exactly how I feel, but I couldn't verbalize it? That's kind of what we're doing. We're trying to be the ones who help people verbalize or understand where they are, so they are more self-aware, so that then they can start to think, okay, now I understand this. I realize I'm not the only one that feels this way. And how am I going to make some next steps to take me, further down this journey? Sorry, I just need to take a drink of water. Um, a lot of times in marketing, they talk about conversions. How do you convert someone, to a sale? But there's many conversions along the way, as I mentioned earlier. You could get someone to download some tips. You could get someone to watch a video. You could get someone to email you about something. Like our job again is to really have small conversions that kind of lead up to a bigger, opportunity for us to work with them more closely. So I just wanted to mention that because I think sometimes we're always talking about the sale, but when it comes to building our community, we are really talking about building trust and, helping people understand that value. And the more that we can, do that through, um, simple things, small things, that helps people kind of take things to the next level. How many of you guys have, um, some giveaways, opt-ins? What are, in fact, if you guys can just, if you want to unmute yourself, what are some of the things that you offer for free through your programs or through social media or however? Gina?
I have a quiz. What's your supermom archetype? And that was really successful. I think I got 50 opt-ins when I did a presentation to a mom's group. I have a 50 ways to move more without going to the gym PDF. People don't download it, so it must not be a very good thing. I have had one person though that said it's like, I thought I knew things to do at my desk and you like opened up a whole new world for me. I have a YouTube channel that's got I think it's got 150 videos on it with
wow,
exercise. Yeah, it's really valuable.
that's awesome. So people can really take some time to get to know you before they, might purchase something. That's awesome. That's great. I want to check that out. I love that 50 things.
Oh, I'll put it in. Yeah, it's awesome. On my website. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Susan Ordway?
Well, I have a free Facebook group and free sort of group coaching every week, and it's topic specific, in addition to a YouTube channel that has also topic specific short form videos that focus on, whether it's guilt or forgiveness or self-compassion, those kinds of things that are kind of tidbits people can use. And the main one, of course, is the 30-minute clarity call to see if it, it's like a chemistry call to see if there's a fit between the person interested in coaching and me.
Nice. Awesome. Awesome. Deb?
I have some videos, some short meditations, some instruction around what are some good postures, what do you need to be thinking about to help you sit in a comfortable way when you meditate. I'm a coach, and I also do just a chemistry call. I don't really call it free. It's just part of the thing to just talk. But I guess now that you said that, Susan, it is a free piece of this whole thing. There's a blog that always has good information. Every once in a while, I do a free meditation class every once in a while. So that does come up, and that's usually very well attended when it's free, which is nice because it gives people some incentive to go. I'm sure there's other things, but because it's been 20 years, but I can't think of everything right now.
That's awesome. Yeah, and we're not going to get in it tonight, but all those things that we're offering, take people on that customer journey. So if you can be setting up autoresponders or next steps, to kind of keep them in that flow, that is ideal, where they're like, oh, I've done the meditations and now I'm going to do the discovery call. And then here's my, free quiz. And, that's the goal and that's the challenge, but it is trying to keep them in that funnel so that they're like, I'm still curious what might be next, what's something else that she provides. So, okay. So one thing, I'm going to wrap up here, but, and then Tatiana's going to talk, and then we're going to get into some exercises, but I wanted to go ahead and just actually have you guys introduce yourselves real quick. So if you could just say your name, and look and see their name, and just what your business is, just kind of real quickly, and then we'll get into more discussion, but that way everyone kind of knows, what kind of business we have. So Susan McNamara, you want to start?
So hi everybody, I'm Susan. So I do a bunch of things, but right now what I'm most focusing on is I just recently launched a health and healing membership community online called The Healer Within, and I'm about to self-publish a book in the next couple of weeks called Trusting Your Body, which has been huge. So those are the two things that I'm really focused on right now.
Nice. So you've been digging deep.
Yes, I have.
Nancy Reagan.
Hi, so last night, I guess I just actually changed my niche to what I should have done over 2 years ago. My passion is nature, so I connect women with nature, building confidence. I'm a confidence coach. I also graduated from IAN in 2020, and I introduced them, by connecting. I'm trying to build this community, trying to get women together, take them out on hikes, to have sisterhood, soul experiences, and I also do online as well, confidence coaching. And I also am a Reiki practitioner, and I do breath work as well.
Awesome. I love that wellness practitioners, we never do just one thing. We're so passionate about everything that we just want to keep learning. It's awesome. Thank you, Nancy. Deb LeClaire.
Hi, I'm Deb LeClaire. I am a psychologist. I am an executive coach and a holistic life coach. Meditation teacher, like you said, Tracy. I don't just do one thing for sure. I do a lot of my organization, Full Spectrum Wellness. We're 20 years old, and the direction we've been really moving towards is conscious creation. So for work and life, so working with organizations around conscious leadership, but also working with individuals around just, again, increasing that awareness, particularly in the spiritual realm, really moving into that. I would say it's a hybrid of a lot of different services that come together. That's it.
Awesome. Thanks, Deb. Susan Ordway.
I'm Susan, personal and leadership coach for women. And I help women who are going through a transition to reset, pivot, and relaunch into their most authentic direction using a deep dive on their core values so that they are stepping through their path and they're into their goals in the most authentic manner possible. And I work with women, 40s through 60s, and catch women either as they're beginning their transition, in the middle of the transition, or trying to put a bow on that transition at the end.
Thanks, Susan. And Suzanne. Oh,
I'm a registered dietitian in private practice, and transitioning into my own practice. And my niche is women's health, especially caregivers, women that are caregivers of others. And my niche is gestational diabetics, actually, and helping them in that time that they really need to be working on their nutrition, hydration, and movement while they're carrying their babies. So.
thanks. Thank you, Suzanne. Gina.
I'm Gina and I'm in Denver, Colorado, and I call myself a super mom mentor. So I take those moms that do not know how to slow down and teach them how to slow down so they can catch up with themselves. And I empower them to put themselves first so that they can show up more brilliant, more energized, and actually find time to be with themselves so they can be more for their families and their kids. My background is in fitness, and I've really gravitated away from the messaging in the fitness industry. I do not resonate with it, and I really am on a mission to change the way we view what fitness really is. I've deleted the words workout and weight loss from my vocabulary because they don't imply healthy things to me. And I focus on what you're going to add to your life and how you're going to add value to your life.
Love it. This is a new paradigm. You're doing it. Awesome. Jennifer.
Hello, ladies. I am so happy to be here and really honored because you guys seem to be moving and grooving. I am new to this community. I'm a registered nurse for 16 years. Just finished my nurse coaching and got my certification this past month. Will sit for my boards this coming summer. And I'm kind of all over the place. I'm just in the beginning stages of getting my LLC and kind of moving forward. I think my focus wants to be with nurses and just help with burnout and career transitions. So I'm kind of in that area, but still I'm kind of all over the place. I want to do everything, something new every single day. So I'm just happy to be here amongst you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. Christina.
Hi, I'm Christina. I'm a licensed therapist in New Hampshire, and my specialty is anxiety OCD. And I'm also a perfectionism coach. And I work a lot with women, not exclusively women, but 90% women who fall into that transitional age in early 20s who are figuring it out. And so my practice is all virtual. And I also co-host a mental health podcast. So,
Thank you, Christina. And Bethany, welcome.
Hi, I'm still fairly new to this community. I'm a licensed massage and bodywork therapist in South Carolina, where I am. I've kind of been all over the place as well for the past few years. But recently, my focus has finally dialed in with working on childhood anxiety and specifically working within the body. I have a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old who are showing the same signs of childhood anxiety that I showed when I was younger. So I'm always, well, where are you feeling that in your body? And I do it in a bodywork therapist standpoint. So I'm working with children right now, ages 5 to 12, but then also I love working with teens who are going through puberty and, you know, trying to figure all of that stuff out, but then also adult women, and helping them kind of do the inner child healing with all of the same things, because I've been going through that the last few years as well. So that's really my focus right now is, you know, either those three age groups, 5 to 12, teenage, you know, pubescent girls, and then adult women, and helping them work through those ages, any kind of anxiety, depression, stress, things like that. The young child suicide rate it's hurting me so bad. And that's really who I'm really marketing out to, is those struggling with anxiety and depression. But it's not going to, you know, the kids aren't going to say, Mom, I'm depressed, or Mom, I'm feeling anxiety. It's going to show up as, I'm constantly chugging my water at night to come and be with my parents because I'm scared, you know? So it's that backdoor approach that I'm doing right now. So yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Thank you, Bethany. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into some journaling and writing, and hopefully, it sounds like some of you have some real clarity on who you are, what communicate, and how you help people transform. Some of you are still working on it. Some of you are still defining your business. And some of you had health transformations yourself, and some of you didn't. And some, you know, it's your target market is not yourself, especially if you're going to, you know, if you're helping children or things like that. But why don't we, if you guys could just grab, you could use your computers, but if you could just grab a pencil and paper, sometimes better just to handwrite things. Sorry, I should have done this at the beginning. Awesome. So we're just going to take a few minutes to really kind of get some clarity about who we're supporting, how they feel, and how they want to feel, because ultimately that's what we're trying to help them figure out. Again, sometimes they know this, sometimes they don't, and sometimes us verbalizing really helps them figure out, like, oh, that's where I am, that's who I am, that defines how I'm feeling right now, even if they weren't able to feel it themselves. So I was going to start out with a question about, like, what was your health transformation? And maybe if you didn't have one, you know, or if it's you know, it's a different target audience, maybe just kind of give an example. Still write about, you know, some kind of transformation you've had, just to help you kind of verbalize that. But for example, you know, for me, I had a health transformation when I went to see a health coach, and I felt completely disconnected from my body. I felt like I couldn't, you know, I felt tired and weak and didn't understand. So, you know, let's say your health transformation is that maybe you weren't focused, like if you're a life coach or something like that with Susan, and how did you feel before you had your transformation is what we want to kind of get into. Where were you? Let's say you're your target audience, and this old version of yourself, explain who that is. How did that person feel? How did you feel at that time? And Bethany, you might try and, you know, address this if you're marketing to parents. You know, you might address as a child how you felt, you know, and how difficult it was to communicate with your parents. So their challenge might be that I can't, you know, don't understand my child, or, you know, so you could dig a little bit deeper into that. So we're going to take a good couple minutes. I'm going to do it for about 2 to 3 minutes. And I just want you to write and really try and be present and really dig deep into this process. This is a really important process, and it can sound very superficial if we don't go deep. All right, we'll give it another minute. Here, what you're trying to do is really address those pain points, but also the feelings, the fear that you were feeling or that your potential client's feeling. Okay. So now I want you to take a couple minutes to really write down how you felt after your transformation, right? So you've gone through, and we're going to talk more about what's in the middle, but I want you to talk now about like how you, former version of yourself, and who is you now, feel after your transformation. What's the difference between it's the before and after? And I know it's not a black and white thing, but take just a couple minutes to really, again, dig into the feelings. Make it visceral, like how you felt in your body, you know, calm, grounded, whatever it is, and really try and communicate that. Okay, so what I wanted to do, and in honor of time, we're gonna go ahead and do this exercise where we kind of pull these two together. And I'm just gonna pull up a slide here so that way you've got it on the screen. Hold on one second. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to, and you notice if as people were introducing themselves, sorry, I'm just trying to get this here. Guess I want a slideshow. Where's my just view here? Oh, sorry guys. I'm just going to keep it this. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I'm just gonna, okay. So you want to start your sentence with I am. I am a woman, health coach, life coach, nurse, entrepreneur, passionate about. Who are you? How would you describe yourself? And next you're going to write, I help. I help. Who is your target audience? So it might be children, women. You can be as specific as possible. And the next sentence is who struggle with. So I help women who struggle with is where you can get more specific. And those are your pain points. Those are the things that you wrote down. I am a health coach. I help women who struggle with. And then next, become, achieve, feel the after. This is your after. Feel empowered, feel in control, feel healthier, feel wealthier, feel, what's the after that you're helping them with? And this is something that will continue to evolve and grow, and you could spend hours and hours on. And I wish we had more time to just spend on this, but I want to kind of get into the vision. And I think what we'll do is we'll share these at the end. But I want to just come back to how important it is. Let's say you're at a party and someone says, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I'm a health coach. That does not tell them what you do. That does not share with them the value that you offer people or the types of people that you help. And really, when you communicate verbally, when you communicate on social media, when you communicate on your website, this is the first thing that should be, front and center is, the transformation that you offer. And what I suggest in this, and we'll run through them at the end, but I've done this when I was with a team that I was doing when I was doing some network marketing. And what I would do is have them like write this all out, and then they would have, let's say 20 seconds to say it, or 30 seconds to say what they did. And then I would bring it down to 20 seconds, and then I would bring it down to like 10 seconds. I think it actually probably started higher. But the less time you give yourself to say it, the more concise you can get. And then it gets like really punchy and clear, and you just feel like you're getting right to the heart of it. And you could hear a couple people say that tonight. Susan, you kind of had yours before. I'm just going to have you say yours real quickly, and then we'll move on. What was your statement when you introduced yourself, Susan Ordway?
I was just waiting for that last name. So when I said what I do, or my title?
You said what you do. Say that again.
Okay, so I'm a personal leadership coach for women who helps women to reset, pivot, and relaunch themselves in the most authentic direction possible towards their goals, using a deep dive through their core values. I think I butchered it, but it was something like that.
Okay. And this is, the more confident we are in saying this, the more clear other people are going to be. And instead of us kind of, oh, I'm a health coach or I'm whatever, this is going to really give us the clarity and the confidence by just being able to kind of enunciate this in a really clear way. So this is text that you can continue to work on. We'll say these at the end if we have time, which I hope we do. But this is something that you can continue to ebb and flow, and let that sink in a little bit. And then at the very end, I'll give everyone just like, 10, 15 seconds to kind of say that. So So I hate to rush us, but I do want to move on and have Tatiana now talk about, okay, so here we are. We know how we're helping people and how we want to transform, but what's the bigger vision for our business? What is it what is our purpose, our passion, the legacy that we want to leave behind, and how can we think bigger and kind of create this? So Tatiana, I'm really excited to hear this.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tracy. And what a beautiful exercise we just did. Wonderful. Thank you. So can you hear me all well? Yes. Wonderful. So let's talk about your vision. But firstly, why do you think we need a vision? Any ideas? You can just unmute and quickly tell me. Why do we need a vision?
I guess it's Nancy, just so you can actually visually see yourself doing what you want to do.
Sure, yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, because that's how I visualize every day what I want to do and where I'm going to take my clients.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
Keep yourself aligned so you're not falling for everything that comes your way.
Excellent, you got it. Yes, we need to have a vision because we want to know how we're aligning emotionally, right? Energetically, mentally, what belief system we need to have to align with that vision that we have for ourselves, and aligning in terms of our actions, right? Like steps that we take to get where we want to go. So vision is important because we want to align to what we're creating, okay? And you can create a vision for a year ahead or 3 years ahead or 10 years ahead. It's really up to you. It's really personal. What I love to do is create a vision for every year. So every December, I would spend some time, and it's not just the 30 minutes that you sit down and you start writing. It's actually feeling into that vision, connecting to your heart energy and asking yourself, what does my heart really want to create next year? Okay, it's really the expression of your heart. It's not coming from your mind, it's really coming from your heart, and you kind of dance with that vision. And I like to spend some time really kind of dating my vision for the next year, okay? So when I created, it's usually a year, but you can really set up your vision, whatever time frame you want to pick. And it has to be from your heart, because when you create your vision, connecting to your heart energy, your vision is really pure in its core. It's really intentional, and it actually inspires you and motivates you to take action, right? So you are emotionally connected to your vision right there, because it's your heart desire. When you connect to your heart desires and put them into the vision for the next year, next 3 years, that's what really motivates you to take action. And once you're really feeling inspired about your vision, your body naturally produces the energy you need to actually go ahead and create it. It works on the biological level, it works on the mental level, it works on the physical level. And once you actually write it down, become really clear and specific about your vision, and then you declare it, declare it to the universe and ask the universe to really guide you and help you get there, like real magic happens. All those amazing synchronicities will start happening. You will feel guided, you will feel supported. So not only you're supported from the energy standpoint, from your internal resources standpoint, right? Because your biology really produces the amount of energy you need to get where you want to go. You're truly supported. People will be showing up in your life, ideas will be popping into your mind, situations, synchronicities. You will see that unfolding in this most beautiful way. And the key in your vision, right? Because I said it has to come from your heart. Your vision, when it's connected to your heart, it's most easiest way to manifest into your life. Seriously, I've played with visions for many years, and if you connect to your vision through your heart, it just real pure magic happens. Okay, so when you're creating your vision, think about all areas of your life. It has to be harmonious. It has to be balanced. It's not only just business and money, right? It's about your relationship. with yourself, with your significant other. It's about this, emotional intimacy between you and your partner. It's about your family and friends. It's about your health. It's about your body image. It's about your energy, right? Because we just don't want to create a chunk of money, but, our relationship will suffer because we're just fooling our business, going after financial goals, right? We really want to feel healthy, have amazing relationships while we are really pursuing our life's purpose. So when you start thinking and feeling into your vision, that's why I like to take some time to really feel into it. It's not just like 15 minutes to sit down and write it down. It's feeling into your vision and really taking all aspects of it, all aspects of your life that really align with you, right? That really matter to you. And then the most important component is you. Who are you in that vision? How do you walk? How do you talk? Who is around you? Who is not around you? Who is that version of you who naturally embodies that vision? That's the secret sauce behind making your vision a reality, is that once you start embodying that version of you, you start collapsing time and space, and you really start accelerating that vision into your physical 3D reality. Okay, does that make sense? Now, when you start creating a vision, and you actually start, if you don't have a vision, you can create a vision for the rest of the year or for the next 12 months. It's up to you. If you have your vision for the year, you can realign with it. But what's important is really being authentic and very honest with yourself, and perhaps answering the following questions will help you create your vision from your heart. Is, what would my life feel like if I didn't worry? If I just removed worry and stress and anxiety from my life, how would it feel like, right? What would be that feeling that I will be experiencing on a daily basis? If I remove all the limitations and fear and doubts about myself, about the process, about the universe, where would I be in life? Where would I be? Would I be directly, living my vision, or maybe even further? How will my life look like if I just didn't care what other people think about me, right? How will it look like? So those questions, you just keep them in mind when you connect to your heart, really become honest and authentic with yourself, and start really dating your vision, okay? Playing with it, dancing with it. And once you have like a full picture of where you want to see yourself in life and who you want to embody, right? What version of you will be naturally living in that vision, write it down, declare it to the universe, and just start seeing the magic unfolding in front of you. But you have to commit to that version of you now. That's the secret sauce behind it. Okay. So Tracy, I'm not sure if we have time to maybe even put together a high level of our vision, or maybe, some of you already have that vision, but I'm not sure how we're doing on time, but this is something maybe you can start thinking about or start writing about.
Well, let's do it. Well, I think we've got some time, so let's take some of those questions, Tatiana. And I love the two words that you said, that just declare and embody. I thought that is so beautiful. So yeah, let's take a good 15, we've got a good 15, 20 minutes. So let's go ahead, and thanks, Susan. I know you got to go. Thanks for popping on. Let's do it.
And I'm here to answer any questions. But further in the workshop, I will actually break it down even further. I will break down your brand vision so it's more clear for you. But for now, personal vision is also key. It's like very important. It's the fundamental vision that you should have.
Yeah, and you know what? You've got the floor, Tatiana. I realize that I think I kind of pulled mine all together, but you go ahead, and this is this is your time. We're in it. So we've got another half an hour, and so let's do that, and then we'll have some time to share. And then Tatiana had some ideas for follow-up for people if we wanted to do this, because these are some fun things that we can work on. So we don't typically do that for workshops, but would love for you guys to dig deep on this. So let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. So when I break out a vision a little further for people, all of a sudden they have this great sense of clarity and awareness that, wow, you can look at it this way. And so personal vision is important, and it's number one. It's your life, right? That includes everything we just spoke about: your brand vision, your business vision, your relationships, your health, your wealth, your financial vision, all in one. It's your personal vision. One thing I want to mention about creating your personal vision is that a lot of people kind of get concerned about the how. Like, how is that possible? If I'm truthful with myself, and if I connect with my heart desires, and sometimes for some people it's a little uncomfortable, really, declaring what their heart really wants to create. But my message to you is just forget about the how. Because once you start really stressing about like, how will this happen, you are creating this fear frequency, this doubt frequency, that actually blocks you from this beautiful free flow of, creation. So create your vision, your personal vision, from a space of trust, gratitude, creativity, curiosity, ease, grace, and flow. So if you connect to that state and really, connect to your heart and create that vision from that space, and just forget about the how, trust. It's going to work out beautifully. Okay, so this is the personal vision. Then vision number 2, and it's a separate vision that I invite you to create. It's your brand vision, okay? Your personal brand vision. And here's the trick, it's all connected, and you will understand a little later, but ask yourself, what is my brand known for, right? Like, how do I present my brand? How do I present myself through my brand? And then ask yourself what impact my brand creates in the world around me. Those are 2 important questions. Impact. Your brand is all about impact, right? You're impacting people. That's why you have your brand, okay? So what impact does my brand have in the world around me? It's not about offers and products. It's how you see yourself with your brand this year, or in 3 years, or in 5 years, depends on the time frame you're choosing for yourself. You can go with a big vision for your brand. You can create something where you feel aligned to be on TV very often, or being on Oprah, if that really aligns with you, and if it's really your heart desire, yeah, go ahead. But for some people, big is not necessarily beautiful. For some people, what aligns with them is that just having a beautiful life somewhere on the lake, living in a cabin, and it's also your brand vision is connected to your personal vision. So just feel into that. What kind of impact, what's the magnitude you want your brand to be in this world, right? So that's all connected. And then the third vision, which is also a separate vision, and that's the key vision, is your community vision. It's your soul-made client vision. It's your tribe vision. You can call it whatever you want, but it's really who you are serving, right? And how you're showing up for your people, and what environment you are creating for their transformations, okay? And who are those people? Who are those soulmate clients? Like, really define who they are. And what we did with Tracy earlier, it's beautiful. I mean, this is the work you need to do to actually understand and define your soulmate client community that you are creating around you, who you are serving on a daily basis. And in your vision, just be very specific and clear who those people are. How many people you are impacting personally, who's working with you one-on-one, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis? How many people, like real numbers in that vision, who are working with you through your like group programs, who is part of your community, online membership perhaps. How much followers do you have on social media? Some people who are just following you and reading you, right? So the vision has to be clear, specific, realistic for the time frame that you're selecting for yourself, if it's a year, 5 years, 10 years, and measurable. So that when you actually see those numbers, like I'm working with 5 clients this week. Oh, fantastic, my vision is a reality right now because this is what I put in my, writing. So write those numbers, feel into them, connect to them. What's the right amount of people who will be working with you? Is it like your schedule is full, or maybe you just see clients on Thursdays? What really aligns with you and with your heart, right? But here's the magic. Here's the secret formula. You guys, every day when you wake up, you focus on your tribe vision. You serve your people. That tribe vision will take care of your brand vision automatically. And that brand vision will take care of your personal vision. That's how it works. So it all boils down to serving from your heart, okay? Serving from your heart the community of your soulmate clients that you create for yourself. You envision them and you call them into your life. But it's really serving from your heart every day. And you're committing to that, okay? And you know what commitment means. So this is the beautiful formula that works. And if you have some time now, if we have some time now, we can just start thinking about high level. What's my high level vision for my tribe, or for my soulmate community? What's the high level vision for my brand and for my personal life, right? But actually start with personal, then brand, and then community, right? Because it's how it follows, but then focus on community every day. Because a lot of people, they just solely focus on their personal life and they forget about brand vision, community vision, and they wonder like why, things are not really going the way I want, okay? So I invite you to create some space and just start thinking about your personal brand and your tribe community vision. And actually maybe after this meeting, or maybe take some time this week, later next week, just to feel into that, okay? But for now, you can just write down some like high level goals or vision, like visionary items that you want to include in those 3 separate visions. And I'm here to answer any questions, by the way. If you have any questions, go ahead.
Should we then maybe take like 2 minutes each? So we've got,
Sure.
So do 2 minutes and maybe you can guide us through, but the personal, the brand, and the community. And then we could do some sharing at the end. And if people want to follow up, I think this is really great work. So why don't you lead us through that, Tatiana? Well, if you want to start with.
Sure. Well, in terms of the personal, your personal vision, as I said, make sure that you are not leaving any important areas. I mean, take a holistic look at your life, right?
And are we doing it kind of like I feel like this, or I'm doing this?
Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good point, Tracy. Write it in the present tense, like I am already that. And I love to create my vision starting that I'm so grateful and happy that I am blah, 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 blah. Like it's already here and you're grateful for that, okay? I have my visions written here, but what you can also do is then when you create a vision and you start creating it, you can always realign because you grow, your business grows, and sometimes you can just take another look at it and say, I want to pivot here, I want to realign here, and I want to change this here. So it's a beautiful dance, your brand and your community. Just being playful with it and creative, that's what really works. But yeah, present tense, I am that. And while you're writing, I just want to say that, you know, once you have your vision, connect with it energetically, emotionally, because truly 80% of your success is your inner game, is your energetics and mindset. You know, what do you believe? So when you create that vision, also ask yourself, if I'm that version of myself already living that vision, what do I believe possible for me? What do I believe about money? What do I believe about success? Because it might be different from what you believe right now about those things, like money and success and beautiful relationships. So it's all about energy and mindset. And then that's 80%. And then 20% is just the aligned action. You take that align with your vision, align with your belief system, and align with you emotionally. It's not the other way around when people like hustle and they work hard, but everything is off in their life. And if you want that vision to be just a beautiful flow, write it down. If you want it to be easy and, you know, you are creating your vision, you're creating your life. You're creating your reality right now. And you can choose whatever just aligns with your heart. And then from that, you can spend some time creating your brand vision, how big you want to be. Or maybe it's not, you know, about the size, it's about the impact, right? And then from that space, create your soul tribe, soul client, community vision.
Let's talk a little bit about the brand, because I'd love people to really hash that out on the brand, because we talked about that word reputation, and you put also what impact do I have? I think that's a big thing for women in wellness. Like, what's the impact with our brand? You know, like how we impact, and I guess that goes to impacting our community. But anything else on the brand that we should include? I just think that's our impact in the community, what people, our reputation, what people remember that we're trying to do, or that how we've impacted people, right?
Yeah, it's really being connected to your why and really connected to a message that your brand is trying to share with the world, right? We had this beautiful exercise, Tracy, about transformations, how you felt before, how you felt after, right? Because there's some kind of message, some kind of lesson you learned that you're trying to deliver to your clients, right? What is that message? Your brand is all about that message. It's about legacy. It's about what legacy are you building, right? And creating and leaving behind you. It's about how truthful you can be, how big and loud you can be, how you can really shine your light in this world. It's all about your brand. It's really connecting to your truth, connecting to a message, and fearlessly sharing it with the world around you.
I love that. Okay, and what about community? Then community.
Yeah, community is all about your like defining your soulmate client, because you want to call in, you want to enjoy your work, you want to enjoy your clients with who you feel amazing. You feel amazing sharing a message, right? And you want to call in that special type of clients. Who are they? You want to build that community. And what will this community look like? Well, since it's present tense, what does this community look like to you now, right? And how are you delivering this message? Is it a membership? Is it like weekly retreats? What space you're holding for them? What environment you're creating? How are all these people connected? What transformations they are going through by working with you? Like, what's the end result they're getting, right? I hope you can't hear my kids chatting on the background. No? It's good. Okay, good. Thank you. It's amazing once you define your soulmate client and start really living that vision, showing up for that client shows up. I mean, exactly. It's just amazing how it works. Once you're clear on what type of person you want to work with, it's amazing. They just show up in your life. Sometimes you don't have to do much. Well, you have to deliver a message and show up and serve, but they just magically flow into your life.
Yeah, I think it's because we've communicated who we're trying to attract, right? So they
Yeah.
can find us, they know us. All right, why don't we start to wrap up, and we can share some of the things that we've been kind of pulling together. That was beautiful, Tatiana. I mean, I feel like we could spend hours and hours on this. I'd love to ask you guys, how did that resonate with you? Like, I just felt that was really, would love any feedback on what it was like. And have you created your vision? Have you really, declared, embodied what it is that you want to put out in the world? I'd love to hear from you guys. How did that make you feel to even to say that, think that? Jennifer?
So,
Oh,
sorry.
Bethany, go ahead.
Sorry. It's kind of funny because I've had this community vision for a while now, and I never really thought to focus on that vision. I was always so focused on, the individual clients that I wanted to work with. I have this huge vision of having a wellness retreat center where families come and stay in these little like tiny home style cottages, and we teach the kids about the earth, about gardening and like farming and taking care of, just day-to-day life. And it's just interesting because I never focused on that so much. I was always focused on, well, let me get clientele first, and then I can focus on the main community vision after.
Mhm.
So a nice flip around to start
Yeah.
focusing on that more instead. I liked it.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. Jennifer.
So I really loved it because this is probably the most organized or gaining that clarity that I've had since I started moving forward to the business portion of nurse coaching. And I felt like I have some type of like focus and pathway than I've had ever before. I keep on like signing up for workshops, and I even bought like a business education thing. And every single time I just feel kind of still lost and confused. So this one really helped me feel just kind of like happy about all this, because maybe it was somewhere in there. I just didn't have a way to kind of focus in on it. So I really love all this.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Anybody else? Anyone else already have a vision statement? Gina? Oh, you're muted.
I have to leave pretty soon, but yeah, I've done a lot of work around this. I mean, I feel like my book, the writing of my book, just really put a lot of clarity behind it. And I just, I'm really kind of anxious to read this because I wrote this with my speaking coach last week. So I empower rule-breaking moms who dare to put themselves first. I know I need to memorize this for my talk on Thursday, but I will. I empower rule-breaking moms who dare to put themselves first, to trust their intuition so they can live a brilliant, peaceful, and obligation-free life, even if it seems impossible.
Fantastic. I love it.
Oh my gosh, got chills.
As I'm like saying, I'm going to go take my son to practice now. But
Thank you.
I made this time, and I'm really grateful for this community, and I'm so grateful for what you're doing, Tracy, with wellness, because this has been my life for 30 years. So
Awesome.
thank you for putting
You're welcome.
I go to tons of networking, and to have just a wellness community is really, really rich and beneficial.
Awesome.
So,
Good. Thanks, Gina. So glad that you could come and welcome to the community.
yeah, and thanks everybody for your contributions.
Thank you.
Hey, have a great night.
Have a good night.
Does anyone else want to share their either their the statements that we did earlier, the kind of before and after transformation statement, or a little bit about their vision tonight? Or did anything just explain to us kind of what came up for you? Maybe some things that you didn't expect, Susan McNamara?
Yeah, so what we were just doing about doing the 3 different visions for the personal, the brand, and the community tribe. I mean, first of all, I loved the phrase about soulmate tribe. That really resonates with me a lot. And I guess what this kind of, it just revealed something for me where like I've had a personal vision and done personal visions for 30 years. So that was really easy. That's something I do every year. But what was really hard for me was the brand vision. That was really hard for me. And so I feel like I need to go back and kind of see why that is, while it was easier for me to do the soulmate tribe. So I just feel like that's information for me right now to kind of go back and think some more on.
Nice.
Thank you.
I love, didn't you say, Tatiana, earlier that kind of the community feeds into the brand feeds into the personal. So maybe that's, you can like backtrack, Susan, a little bit on there.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else want to share anything? Nancy?
I just want to thank Tatiana, because my vision that I have was what it was 2 years ago, but I hired 2 different marketing companies that changed my vision, and I thought they knew what they were talking about. So I switched up until just 1 week ago. So what you said just makes me feel great, because excuse me, I've had a vision of, again, taking women on weekend retreats, hiking, snowshoeing, all different outdoor activities to connect them with nature and confidence. And for me, confidence is really about finding who you are within your soul. That was my discovery, in my 40s. And it just has changed my whole life. And I imagine taking these women throughout the United States, national parks, different things like that, and even internationally. Like I envision taking people like at the airport, I have all these women ready to get on the plane, and I just see myself. So I feel sad for myself that I wasted 2 years, but I guess I wasn't ready for it, or who knows what the reason was. But I'm so happy. Thank you. It's been
Sure.
great.
And you've gained some very valuable experience as well during those 2 years that now you can apply and then take your women, I don't know, to Tuscany or Greece.
Right. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Deb.
Yeah, I also really resonated with the soulmate tribe, and I even just talking about tribe and talking about, I mean, so many times you're envisioning your ideal client, and it feels like part of the new paradigm is moving this more and more out, but it does start here. And then it moves out towards impacting maybe more people or a smaller amount of people, but in a deeper way. So like all of that just really falls in alignment for me. And I so appreciate that this goes so much deeper than a lot of exercises around creating your vision and mission. And I also appreciate that you had the word trust, because that's something, having to trust, and over and over again, the self-saboteurs come out and the ego comes out and the worry comes out, and oh, wait a minute, I have all my guides. I have my human ones and my non-human ones, and remembering that it is about trusting, especially if you're coming from your heart, because it's in your heart for a reason.
For
So
sure.
thank you for all of that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Deb. This whole time, I just keep thinking of Martin Luther King. I have a dream. Like, all you have to say here is that, and he brings you right into what's possible. And a certain, I think I'm going to go look at his speech, because I just feel like the way that he brought people into his vision, is so incredible. And I think I'll say this, even though I feel like I say it every time we get a workshop or a call or anything. I don't think we can underestimate the role that we're playing at this time in the world.
Yep.
And I wish I could, I feel like I'm still working on what that means and how to say it, but all I can know now is we can't underestimate this, and that we are playing a role, and what we're doing is important. And maybe we're not part of like the big Western medical with, all the science, back this, back that, everything. But we're creating a culture of people that love, know, and trust their bodies, right? And what could be more important than that, So, yeah. So do people want to work on this and do a short follow-up? Anyone into that? I'm actually going to be launching a mastermind this summer, just like a 4-week one to maybe work through some of these things. But as a group, if you guys, this would be kind of a good pilot. Do people want to work in this and come back? And it won't be really a workshop. It'll just be an opportunity for you to kind of voice your vision. Do people want to do that? If you don't, that's totally fine too. Anybody? Raise your hand if you might want to do some work on this and follow up with the rest. This group.
Tracy, what do you mean by follow up? You want us to come back and just like kind of
voice it?
Share? Do you want us to share like in terms of like our focus? Is that what you mean by follow up?
Yeah, so just voicing our brand vision, our personal vision, our community vision, and also what our before and after statement is, and so that we are really clear about who I am, how I help people, and how I help transform people. And we can kind of maybe send a little note just to kind of clarify everything. But I don't want to. What I really like to do is like, let's do the work, right? Let's. This is nice. I mean, this would be great for me too. And it's like, I want us to, if we have to come back and share it, we're going to be much more likely to actually, and there's no right or wrong, and it could evolve or change. But what I would love is to see us all take some deep time and work on this. So, and no, you wouldn't have to come back, but if anyone interested in that, okay.
Or we
Okay.
can come back and do our declarations of our visions. But when, like, my tiniest concern is that maybe 1 week might not be enough for like 3 visions. So maybe we can just share high level, because for me,
Yeah.
it usually takes like a couple of weeks to come up with my visions, because I love to feel into them, like really connect on the deeper level. So maybe we can come back and declare our high level visions.
I think that'd be great. And then, and then if people want to continue to work on, I think this process is ever evolving, but that way we can, and I don't even think it's even to get feedback. It's really for us just to voice it and then to continue to kind of work on that. So would next Monday or Tuesday work? I could do next Tuesday at 7:30 or Monday at 7:30 or Tuesday at 7 or 7:30.
Okay, Tatiana, can I just ask what you mean by high level vision? What did you mean by that?
Well, just like Nancy said, I see my soulmate clients in the airport with suitcases, and we're heading to, I don't know, Ireland or something, like what is that you want to create? Maybe there will be some personal details you don't want to disclose, and that's totally fine. I mean, for your personal vision, but just like big picture vision.
Yeah, I kind of think of this as a first draft almost. First draft.
First draft. Oh, I love that. First draft.
Okay, so I see someone, for how many people does Monday night work at 7:30?
I'm good.
Well, I'll make it work. I have plans for Monday night, but
okay.
I'll try to make it work.
Okay, how about
Tuesday works better, the 31st.
How does Tuesday work for everyone?
No. Okay, I'll make Monday work. I'll have to.
Would 8 o'clock be better, or?
No. 7:30. The earlier the better. Yeah, 7:30.
7:30 then it is, and I'll send out, let me just make sure I have everyone's name who's here, because I don't think if some people didn't show up, then they're gonna know.
Tatiana, can I just ask you a quick question on the personal? Because I'm not sure if I wrote down like the right thing. Because I mean, for community I don't mean there is no right or wrong, but I'm saying just to me so I can focus in deeper. I just had wrote basically, because I work full time right now, and I just put personally, in other words, to actually work full time in this business to serve, women. But
that sounds amazing. So when you think about your vision for the year, right? Like you have to connect and see what works for you in terms of time frame. What is it? A year vision? A year, like 12 months, 3 years, 5, and then what's realistic for you, for your mind? Because if your mind says, no, like you're trying to create 1 million in a year and that's not possible, that's going to be difficult to align with that. But if you feel that quitting your day job and really focusing on your brand full time is completely doable, you would love to do it, you've been actually thinking about that for a while, yeah, go for it.
okay.
And I'll send out a note, and if Katiana has any other background to send, and if I have any, we'll send anything to kind of help hone it in. But I would just take this as an opportunity to not have too many boundaries and come up with kind of this personal vision that is like an opportunity for you to, as we said, declare and embody this, and we won't put too many restrictions on it. And then maybe Tatiana next week can also help us direct things a little bit,
I think next week we can work about like identity, that version of you who actually embodies those visions, right? Because this is important.
Yeah, and I think we'll just keep next week to like 45 minutes or something, half an hour, 45 minutes. I really want just to keep it simple, and then this would love your feedback. Maybe this is something we could do like a mastermind around, where people go week to week and they really start honing in, and that might be a great opportunity. So Okay, awesome. You guys, thank you so much. This was so great. I'm so excited to see some new members, some old members who I haven't seen before, Suzanne and Bethany. And I was going to say, I'm going to stay on if anyone has any questions, because I know we have new members. We do have a member orientation on Friday for obviously any members at noon. So if anyone wants to pop on and ask any questions, or if you have any, quick questions after, I'm happy to stay on as well tonight. And I just want to thank Tatiana for really bringing something so soulful to this. And I think this is exactly what I want to bring to the table, because we can get all the tips and tricks and formulas that we want, but this is our work, right? This is us digging deep to embody, declare, and be able to, clearly communicate to other people boldly, who we are and what we want to do in the world. And I think we all want to have that impact. So thank you, Tatiana, for that. And thank you guys for showing up for yourself and for this community. It was great to see you all. And we've got a really great workshop in June. It's a woman I'm really excited about. She's a new member. She has a PhD in women's mythology, and she is going to talk about how this is our time. This is how, like, the history of women, the suppression of our voice, and how all, this is our time to come out and speak up and all this. So I'm really excited about that. So I hope you
What's
guys.
the date?
It's the 14th of June, so it's actually not a whole month away. So it's the 14th, and I just think it's going to be amazing. So I think this is exactly what we all need to keep hearing to help us understand, where we are at this time in history and how important it is for us to help, continue to evolve as women. So, all right. So thank you guys so much. Good to see all of you. And again, I'll stay on for a second if you want. And if not, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys. Good to see you all.
Tracy, it's Jen.
Oh, go ahead, Jen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Beth.